Okay, let me see. Okay, officially, thank you so much again for your time. Before I start with the interview, I'm going to just present my classmates. We have um, Santos Stephanie and also Espinosa Juan Carlos and myself, Clara Rivas. And also, I'm going to just present our recent project. The name is Technological Competences in Intermediate English Students. So the general objective of this is analyze the technological skills of middle level students and investigate the different challenges that the students may have when they put into practice the knowledge they have acquired based on technology. And I'm going to start with the questions. The number one says, for you, what is the importance of institutional platforms?
Well, I consider that due to the pandemic, that is practically a necessity. So more than important, I think is something that we really need in our everyday classes because in a way it helps students to practice a little bit more because imagine if we had only the classes like for example when we were in class sessions when we were at the buildings and all of that, so you need to say only with what you check there, only the activities that you did there. However, with the platforms we have the I don't know, the opportunity to provide more activities so the students in a way can practice a little bit more, not only what the teacher provides in the class, but something else.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. Let's continue with the next one. The number two says, what is the best way to introduce a new platform?
I think it would be like first telling them about it, probably creating like a short, I don't know, not a webinar, but like a PDF with all the instructions or something like that, because it was kind of similar to what we did for when we started for the first time person, right? So in a way, you just start showing them, okay, this is what you are going to do. This is how you enter, like a tutorial, a video tutorial could help, something like that.
Okay, thank you so much. The number three says, what determine if students are capable to use technology and institutional platforms?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yes, yeah, it says, what determine if the students are capable to use technology and institutional platforms?
Mm, I think all of them are able to use them. Of course, there are always some people who find everything related to technology easier than other ones. But in the end, I think all of them are capable of using them. The only problem sometimes could be probably the internet connection, because we know that not everybody has um, the same capabilities in terms of that. Some people work with mobile data and some others work with internet. So maybe that would be the problem. But I think in terms of usability, all of them are capable to do it.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to ask my classmate Juan. Can you help me read the number four, please?
Sure. Mm, it's a really pleasure to be here. This is a number four. Why this new platform generate stress to students?
Maybe the stress could be because of the activities. Of course, sometimes, at least in my case, sometimes I provide like 4 or 6 activities per week. So maybe the stress could be that, okay, the amount of activities that we provide. However, remember as well that all the activities that they do there is because they need to keep practicing in English. There is no other way that you learn. The more you practice, the easier it gets. So maybe if they are stressed for platforms, I would say that that is the reason. Or maybe if by any chance there is something that is hard for them to do, like they don't understand how the platform works or something like that, maybe that could be another cause of stress.
Yes, in this case,
Yes. Definitely.
if you don't have knowledge about a platform, it will be generate stress. For example, bad connection generate stress too.
Definitely. Mhm. Yeah, it's even for the teachers, trust me.
Right. I know, right? So let's continue with the number five. Can you read it, please, Juan?
Uh, what is the impact of technology in school nowadays? Nowadays,
I think there is a huge impact because I'm sorry, before the pandemic, I think nobody ever imagined that we were going to be working even in public schools with anything related to technology. Well, at least I can speak for myself. When I was in a school, we had these places full of computers, but actually we never used them. I mean, they were there, but we never used them as a class or something like that. And now I can see, for example, my cousins that they are like in third grade, in fifth grade, and all of them have computers, all of them have tablets, and they incorporate everything that they do in the class. They have to do it in there. They are working with Word and different websites, and it is crazy how different everything it is, of course, how everything was before the pandemic and after. So I think there is a huge impact right now from technology.
I guess the last day of classes in 20, 2019 or 2012. In 2012, I imagine the last day of class, all the people say, oh my God, it's really very good because I don't assist to a class. But after that, uh, we miss the classes face to face.
Yes, in a way, I think everybody does.
Yeah. Okay. And also, can you read the number six one, please?
Sure. Why this methodology can have advantage and disadvantage?
You mean the methodologies in which you use technology?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Okay. Um, I think some of the advantages is the one that I expressed before, that you can prepare more activities, you have definitely more time because it is not the same that you have to travel from one place to another one. And technically, if you are moving on a bus or in any other mean of transportation from one place to another one, you are losing time in there. If you are, for example, working only online or virtually, you have plenty of time. You can do the activities at midnight if you want to, or you can do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's your time. You decide how to organize yourself. And however, the disadvantages at the same time would be exactly the same thing. If you are the one who is, or who are, I'm sorry, if you are the person who is organizing your own time, probably if you don't know how to do it well, even if you have the 24 hours, probably you are not going to deliver your activities, or maybe you are just going to forget that you had this specific activity. So I think the advantages would be that you have plenty of time to do the things, but still people need to be very well organized. So that would be the disadvantage.
Yeah, for example, as a student, also I think that one disadvantages is that maybe some of the students may not have a good like a spot to receive the class, and that could be difficult for us like to pay attention. So I think that also that could be a one disadvantage of being
Definitely.
in online sessions.
Or the noise as well, because where I live
Yeah.
right now, uh, actually is very calm. But where I used to live before, it was crazy. I had my neighbors with what, reggaeton at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I was in the middle of the class with children, and it was crazy because they were only laughing. And teacher, do you listen to reggaeton? And no, it's not me, it's my neighbors. So those
Mhm.
things happen as
Yeah,
well. Some probably it's not in your house, but yeah, the noise in the background.
yeah, that's correct. Thank you, Lick. So I'm going to ask my classmate Stephanie if can you read the number 7?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Good afternoon, teacher Jennifer. The question number 7 is why virtual classroom are an excellent tool for teacher.
Um, because I think you can place a lot of information in there. When we were in presential sessions, something that I didn't like, it was a lot of handouts that we need to be printing all the time, because I don't like to have a lot of things in paper. So that was one of the things that I didn't like from university. But now that we have the platforms, you technically don't need to be printing out anything. You just upload documents. You can upload as many as you want. So the student, in a way, have plenty more information that's something that he could have had if we were in a different way of classes. So I consider that that is a huge advantage that we have right now.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. The next one, please.
Okay, the question number 8, why do you think technology keeps modify the way of communication?
Mm, I think it's easier now because, I mean, if you have your student's phone number, you can contact them through WhatsApp, or there are even some teachers who tend to use Facebook on those specific cases, especially the ones that are in schools or high school, something like that. But also we have the emails. I mean, you can send an email and the teacher can reply to you as soon as possible. So I think in terms of communication, there are only advantages so far because there is no way that you cannot communicate with someone.
Mhm. Yeah, it's easier right now with the technology. Okay, let's continue with the number 9.
Question number 9, what do you think about virtual classroom?
Mm, I love it, technically. I think, as I was telling you, makes everything easier to just post the information in there, and technically it is part of the students' option whether to read it or not. I mean, now I think that the teacher doesn't have that much impact on what the students do. I think nowadays is more like what the student wants to do in a way. I think I like it. I really like it.
I like it. The question number 10, teacher, is do you think it's easy for virtually than presentially and why? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
The number 10, do you think it easy work virtually than presentially and why?
Okay, yes, definitely. I love virtual classes. In first place, because um, if you don't want to open your camera, you just don't do it. I mean, the teacher is not going to be pushing you, open your camera, open your camera. I mean, they ask us to do it, but of course, we're not going to do it, right? If you want to open your microphone, you do it. If you don't want to, you don't. I know that there are some students that are sleeping in the middle of the classes. So I think there is a lot of advantages that you can have from being virtually. Other thing, probably you may know, but the teachers can wear pajamas when you are teaching the class. I mean, you don't have to be with high heels or with a suit when you are teaching, because technically they are only seeing your face when you are in the class. So in my case, I really love this modality virtually, because when you are in the classroom, it is like you need to make sure that everybody's paying attention. You need to find different activities so they don't get bored in the middle of the class. and all of those things. So definitely, I think virtuality is the best thing right now.
Okay, Juan.
Your microphone is not on.
Okay, okay. Now, you said that when the classmates say, my microphone or my camera is in issues. For example, sometimes you know that it's not true.
Exactly.
It's not true.
I
Okay.
know. Yeah, because no, I'm telling you, because sometimes even teachers do that. Trust me, when we are in meetings, they say my microphone doesn't work, but we know that it works because at the end, when everybody says goodbye, everybody opened their microphone. So, okay, so interesting that before it was not working, but all of a sudden works.
Have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Okay, teacher. The next question is, how enjoyable are virtual sessions?
Mm, well, I think that depends a lot on the teacher and the type of activities that they do, and of course, the mood of the students. Because imagine that you, as a student, you went to bed like what, at 3 o'clock in the morning because you were working. No matter if your teacher is a joker and is the one of the best TV show hosters that you can see in the world, you are going to fall asleep in that class. That's for sure. So that could be one thing. And another one, probably you have all the motivation, but if your teacher doesn't help you at all, I mean, he has a very low voice or he's speaking like in the whole class, you don't do anything but listening, of course, that is going to be boring. So I think it depends a lot on the teacher and the mood that the student has for that specific class.
Okay, teacher. Then question number 12 is, the work in a virtual classroom is better than work in a presential class?
For me, yes. Because of what I mentioned before, you have more time to do the activities. You can do them as many times as you want, and also you can do more. For example, let's pretend that in a presential class you did one quiz during the whole class. If you are virtually, you can be preparing as many quizzes as you want, and the students can do it as many times as they want. If we are in a presential class, we cannot do that. I mean, the quiz is only once. If you fail, I'm sorry for you, because we cannot be printing, right, as many quizzes so you can do it again if you want to. But when you are virtual, no, I mean, even you say, teacher, I forgot the homework. Can I send it for you today? Yes, go ahead. As long as we are still in the week, right, that we are working, you can send it, no problem. But yes, I think definitely it's a lot better like that.
Okay, teacher. The last question is, the are virtual classroom more interactive than presential classroom?
I would say again that that depends on the teacher, because there are some teachers who really like to interact with the platform, so they get to know a lot more of how it works, what are the things that you can do there. But there are some teachers who they just know the basics. So if you know the basics, you are going to still working in a virtual classroom as if you were in a presential class, and that is not the idea. So I think interactivity depends a lot on what the teacher knows.
Okay, perfect. That will be the last question of this interview that we have for you. So thank you again, Ms. Carranza. We really appreciate your time to help us with this interview.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, and also thank you for let us being in your class doing the observation. Today was the last day, so thank you so much.
Okay, I'm glad that we're there. I hope that you find it interesting.
teacher
Yeah,
was
it was.
Okay, thank you
The-
guys.
the
And
homework.
good luck with your research.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a good day, Lick.
So you guys.
Bye.